Welcome, trainers. Watts here. Wow, 6 years. 6 years since I've made a video on this channel. Here it is. We're doing other stuff. Radiant Rectangles, my brand. Please check it out. And go look at the video in the description. It is going to go in depth on ranked play in ZA and how to build better teams. It's a good video, so please go check it out. And today we're doing a tier list. We're doing a tier list discussion of Season 2 for ranked play in Legends ZA. This game has been really fun. It's been a nice little deviation from normal Pokemon. I think that still prefer VGC, normal double gameplay, but hey, this game is really fun. I really like it. I hope the ranked ladder gets a little bit more fleshed out, but as of now, it's been fun. So I've listed every Pokemon I think is worth mentioning. If you don't see it here, just consider it in F tier here. But, you know, I could have missed something, of course. So please leave your opinions in the comments. This game is still new. My opinions are not going to be amazing. I did reach rank A in both seasons. It's pretty easy to do that. I reached rank A in season 2 like in one night. I got a lot of first places, and I continue to do really well in rank A, testing out a lot of different stuff. So you know, I have some experience, but yeah, this game is new. I'm gonna be wrong, and I would love your opinions. What's been successful for you or bad for you? I'd love to hear it. Please comment. So starting off with just the obvious ones, the legendaries are legal. Obviously, these guys are incredible. I mean, they're so good. Geomancy continues to be the most powerful move ever in the history of Pokemon. Besides maybe Mega Zygarde's Nihilite takes the cake, but Jesus, Geomancy is so good. Yeah, it has a really long wind-up time, but it lasts for a long time and makes Xerneas just so incredibly powerful and tanky. Xerneas is definitely the best Pokemon in this format. And Yveltal, also extremely good. I love how with both of these, you can go physical and special, which gives you like a nice flexibility with it. They both have good stats on both the offenses. Of course, Xerneas, you usually typically want to go special because it does, Geomancy does boost it. But you could go physical. Play Rough is a good move. But yeah, Yveltal, you really have a lot of flexibility. You can go Oblivion Wing for the sustain, great move. You can go physical with Fly. It has a ton of great options. It's got Heat Wave on the special side. It's got, what else does it got on the, there's another big one. Oh yeah, it has Fly into U-turn on the physical side. So just obviously an incredible Pokemon. Oblivion Wing on the special side, Fly U-turn on the physical side, Crunch, like just whatever, like coverage. One's really good. You can run a lot of different items on both of these guys. I like Citrus Berry a lot for the sustain. Any Resistance Berry is valid. Assault Vest is valid on Yveltal. And yeah, I mean, these are meta warping, they're meta defining. You have to have, any team you build has to have a counter to both of these, and highly recommend putting one of them on your team. The only exception to that is the other restricted mon, Diancie. So for Diancie, it has two different forms, the Mega and the regular. I'm going to separate Megas and regulars on this tier list because for a lot of them, they do function very differently. I would often consider them different Pokemon. Also, you have to take into account with Megas that you're giving up a different Mega. So I think in general, Megas will be rated a bit harsher on that precedent. But of course, the Mega is more powerful than the regular form. Usually, it gets the fact that it gets to Mega gives it a ton of iframes when you activate your Mega. So that alone is just really powerful. So definitely, you know, take it with a grain of salt on these different forms. But for Diancie, I really don't know where to put it. I think that I will keep it in A because it is very good. It's super tanky in this form. It's super offensive in this form. the flexibility of that is really cool. You can keep it in base form for the bulk or mega for the mega, for the offense. But the base form, it's really cool that you can just run an item on it, and you can spam Diamond Storm to get those defense raises. You can use it as a screen setter. It's a pretty good lead for that reason. Rock type right now is just really good coverage. There's a lot of flying types, and stuff is prepared for ice, but it's not as prepared for rock. It's a lot less common of a type. Of course, people are prepared for stone edges, but this has the best ranged rock move, and it's a ranged physical move, so very powerful. And in its mega form, it's exceedingly powerful. It has monstrous attack stats, and it also gets a bigger range as well. Yeah, you go up to 160 on this. It's absolutely insane. You're losing a lot of bulk when you mega, so you have to play this Pokemon really smartly. And also, obviously, you are losing the option of Xerneas or Yveltal when you use Diancie. So because of that, it's definitely a tier below. I think that Xerneas and Yveltal are stronger, but it's very viable and very good. Okay, next I'm just gonna pull from here like some of the just standout mons from season 1 and 2. So some stuff that like I've been seeing a lot of, some stuff that's like pretty solid. Slowbro's like been seeing a little play. Floette is another, I guess it's a mythical Pokemon, but not restricted, so Floette has that advantage. Seeing a lot of Greninja, Salamence, of course, Metagross. I've been seeing a little bit of Lopunny. T-Tar, I've seen a little Gengar, I've seen a little Mawile. What else? Oh, the Glaceon. I've been seeing a lot of Vaporeon, a lot of Glaceon. These really nice bulky Pokemon that just like don't care that they're slow, quote unquote. In free for all, this is just like speed is. I talked more about this in my polished video, but speed is not as important in this mode of ranked play as it's the least important it's ever been in the history of Pokemon, which is just crazy because you have 4 moves. You can usually cycle through them and use the charge for each of them pretty effectively, even without much cooldown reduction. So cooldown really is a specific thing. Okay, I think this is everything of stuff that I've just been seeing constantly. So let's go through these. The Gyarados I'll start with because they were possibly the best in season 1. But because of the prevalence of Thunderbolt screen setters, every Thunderbolt screen setter under the sun, especially Ampharos, is extremely common. I love that Ampharos, finally, it's never been good before, and if I'm not mistaken about that, I'm pretty sure it's never been good in the history of competitive Pokemon. But these stats just get you there, man. The low speed doesn't matter. All it's doing is charge Thunderbolt after it sets up screens, right? So, and then you screens again. So, like, just being able to switch between charge and Thunderbolt and run around is, not Thunder. Thunder's alright, but Thunderbolt is better. Thunderbolt is just so hard to dodge. Light Screen Reflect, like, this thing is just crazy. I was going to talk about Gyarados, but you can't talk about Gyarados without mentioning its electric weakness. And this thing is so crazy. You can run Citrus Berry. You can run, I've seen people run Weakness Policy. Expert Belt is actually really good. Y4, Rocky Helmet. You can run a lot of different things on this. And it's just solid. The bulk gets it there. It has the highest special attack stat, I think, of any Thunderbolter, electric type Thunderbolter. That isn't a Mega. Yeah, so yeah, it has the highest. So this is why it's used, right? Because it has good solid bulk, and its special attack is the single highest out of any non-Mega electric type in the entire game. That makes it so good. The next up is Jolteon, which people play her, but I really don't see the value in Jolteon over Ampharos. Sure, it's like smaller, it's harder to hit, but I think Ampharos is just the GOAT of electric type screen setters. So this thing is de facto A. This thing is very good. Now on to Gyarados. I actually think that regular Gyarados is better than Mega. Sure, you can Mega to avoid the 2x weakness to electric, but like, people see a Gyarados and they're just gunning for you. If they have an electric type, which a lot of people are running that for coverage, Xerneas gets it. A lot of different stuff gets Thunderbolt. So they're gunning for you, and even if you Mega, sure, you can dodge one, but the next one is still super effective. It's not going to do as much as just a lightning resist barrier. What is it called? Right, Lock-on Berry. So I think the set is just a little bit better. Gyarados, of course, always been a pretty damn good Pokemon. It's got really solid bulk. It's got an incredibly high attack stat. You can do a lot with this thing. The fact that Fly for once, I don't know why it says illegal there, but that's not true. The fact that, or no, maybe it doesn't get Fly, it's Bounce, yeah. The fact that Fly and Bounce for the first time ever are good, crazy, absolutely crazy. But yeah, this thing makes great use of the flying stab Bounce. Let's take a look at some of the highest flying type attack users in the game. Of course, there's Yveltal. Yveltal's probably going to be the highest. Yeah, 131. So Yveltal obviously makes great use of Fly. Fly is also slightly higher base power, which is relevant. I'm not sure about if the wind-up times or the cast times are different, but you know, all those small things, we don't even have like a database for that stuff right now, so you just kind of like gotta math it out in the game. But yeah, so Skarmory, Mega Skarmory, but that is a Mega. Oh, Salamence, okay. Salamence and Dragonite do have a higher attack, so I mean these are obviously great fly users as well. Incredible Pokemon in the format. But yeah, Gyarados also is a water type. You get access to Waterfall, another really powerful gap closer. I don't need to go in depth. It has Earthquake, it has Dragon Rush. Or does it have Dragon Rush? Yeah, it has Dragon Rush. I don't need to go into everything on why this Pokemon is incredible. Everybody knows that it's really good. But the hate and the amount of ice type attacks on that are being used, it's also weak to that, so that hurts. Of course, the Mega is not weak to ice, which is good, but there's so many freeze dries running around with Glaceon, so that's still an issue. So Gyarados, great Pokemon, but I think that it's not as good as it was in season 1. There's it doesn't have the best matchup into the top 2 dogs, so I'd put it like at the bottom of A. And same with Mega Gyarados. I'll keep them around. I do think that regular Gyarados is a little bit better, but they're both around the same viability. Let's talk about the Chomps next. What many people would say was the single best Pokemon in season 1. I don't necessarily disagree. Garchomp is an incredible Pokemon. Yache Berry, really great choice. So I actually think that regular Garchomp is significantly better right now than Mega because of the amount of ice. Like, just everything has an ice type attack. Every single team has multiple ice type attacks because of how powerful Dragonite, Salamence, Garchomp, Yveltal are. So I just really think that, sure, you can Mega to avoid it, but that's single use, and other people are going to have ice. So I don't think the Mega is quite as strong as it was. It was super good. I mean, its stats are off the charts. So, of course, it's always going to be good. Of course, it's A. Losing the speed doesn't matter. Losing 10 speed, you will happily take that for the initial bulk. I didn't actually know its special attack was so randomly high. That's so goofy. But yeah, 170 base attack. Like, this thing's Earthquakes just are insane. So, of course, extremely strong. Ground type is a great typing. Ground type damage, extremely good. Tons of steel types in the format for Xerneas. Yeah, just a good Pokemon, but yeah, I think that regular would be like top of A because you get to run that Yache Berry, which is just so helpful. Just knowing that you can take one Ice Beam allows you to play so much ballsier, and allows you to like take 2-for-1 trades more often. You can rush into like half-health enemies and get off a big Earthquake, knowing that you're not going to like die immediately from a freeze dry trying to do that. This thing balls. It balls. I mean, there's not much more to say about it. It's really good. All right, we mentioned the other dragons, so let's just talk about them next. We've got the Salamences and the Dragonites. All right, Salamence and Dragonite. I think Salamence's stake has gone up. Salamence has a lot of good tools at its disposal. Yeah, so it gets Fly, Dragon Rush for stab, get in tools, extremely powerful, and then you can just fire off a big AoE, Earthquake or Stone Edge. So this is something that Garchomp does not have. Garchomp does have Dig, but Dig is a lot slower. Dragon Rush is really quick. Dragon Rush is incredible in this game. And being able to do that into an Earthquake, into a Stone Edge, or just into a Fly if you want to try to dodge something, just really, really great options. The fact that you can Dragon Rush in, then Mega, then Earthquake or Stone Edge, that's really good. It gets some other, like, utility options. You can run like Brick Break, you can run Dragon Claw, Outrage. I think Dragon Rush is just better generally. Fire Fang, some utility here and there. You could run Rock Slide. I think Stone Edge is generally better. And yeah, this Mega's stats, crazy stats. It gains such a huge defense boost from 80 to 130, a slight special defense boost, the 95 HP, and the big 10 more attack goes a long way. This thing, obviously, you go max damage because it doesn't have a setup move, which is the only downside of it. And your Salamence can still run something like a Life Orb or an Expert Belt to boost its damage, so it technically can do more damage than Mega. But it loses the bulk. You know, this defense is not the best. You know, it's going to be fine, but it's not going to, like, live amazingly. But, of course, it also gets Yachi. So, both are really viable. I think that they're both good. And yeah, I still think that Garchomp is better because ground coverage is more important than flying coverage because of all the steel types. But I do think it's extremely strong, and I want to put it, like, up here. Diancie keeps moving down, but I'm just like, it's good, but I think that these are stronger. It doesn't take your restricted slot. Next up, for the 4 times quad week to ice Pokemon, we got the Dragonite. Dragonite, really good in both forms. Just like with Salamence, it gets everything that Salamence gets. It has this basically the same attack stat. You get 10 more in this form. Great defenses. It has Dragon Rush, Fly, Earthquake, Stone Edge. You can run Iron Head on it for fairy coverage. You can run Ice Punch. You can run Thunder Punch. This thing just has a lot of flexibility. You can run it with an Assault Vest, a Yachi Berry, a Citrus. Lots of different options to cover what your team needs. So I'm putting this right here with the Salamences. I do think it's a little bit better than the Salamences, but don't let that fool you. Mega Salamence is really powerful. As for Mega Dragonite, it plays entirely different because it's a special attacker, right? So you get what? Hurricane, extremely good. Draco Meteor, incredibly strong. And this thing has crazy bulk, a really good speed. Its Draco Meteors are going to come back up quickly. I think it gets Blizzard and Ice Beam. Great for mirror matches. I mean, you have the dragon coverage, so you usually don't also want ice coverage. But sometimes it's an option. Oh yeah, and Heat Wave. Again, this thing doesn't get a setup move, so you just probably want to max out. Yeah, it doesn't get Calm Mind yet. So you just want to max out special attack, huge attack stat. It does work. It does absolute work. Now, the one thing I'll mention about Mega Dragonite is that there's also Drampa, which has a much higher special attack stat, comparable defenses. It has lower HP, but it's still very bulky. So in general, if you're going for and it's a normal type, which is better, I would say, than flying. Sure, you don't get the Hurricane stab, so if your team needs that, then yeah, it's very good to run the Dragonite. But Drampa's right there, and I think that because it does more damage with his Draco, and speed doesn't matter, so you're getting like 30 additional special attack. That's huge. That's really huge. So I would caution against running Dragonite unless you need the flying type. Because normal also gets that free immunity to Ghost, which is very lovely. Where's the Mega Drampa? There it is. Okay, here's the Drampa. Okay, so because Drampa exists, I'm gonna put Mega Dragonite just a little bit lower. But yeah, so like I do think it is still better than Drampa, just because of that flying type coverage. But I think Drampa is incredible. If you're just trying to look for like a Heat Wave, you know, an off stab Heat Waver, Draco Meteor, then Drampa's usually better than Dragonite. Next up, I've been talking about the steel types, and of course Metagross. Wow, this thing is the best. This thing is the best these two Pokemon in the game. I would maybe even put this in S. I see this everywhere. You need to have a counter. You don't want it on every team, so I'll keep it an A, because you don't want it on every team. These you do want on every team, because you can run Mega Excadrill, also an incredible Pokemon. Let me put him up here. So there are other options for sure, but both are amazing. I think that the Mega is significantly better than the regular. The regular is of course still very good, but they serve like very different functions. The Mega Metagross is just an all-out attacker. It goes crazy. It's Earthquake. It's super bulky. It's just Bullet Punch. It's just, Iron Head. It's just trying to pick up kills, right? Ice Punch for the coverage. That always gets me, because you bring in Garchomp trying to do the ground type attacks on it, and bam, you get hit with an Ice Punch and you're just dead. This thing gets everything. It has Thunder Punch for Gyarados. It's a really, really good mon. I think that the only thing with regular Metagross is that it doesn't have quite as much bulk. It's like not the best on the specials. Of course, it's not bad. But because of that, you usually will see it as a screen setter, which I think is super valid, and it's a good lead for that reason. Definitely a really good charger. With this set, this charges up your Mega Meter really fast, so it functions really well as that type of lead, as opposed to a like Mega Pivot to pick up most of your knockouts. So both are extremely viable and extremely good. I put them both in A, but I think that Mega is just pretty dominant. Getting that extra defenses and the extra 10 to attack is huge. Not having to use the screens. Sure, you get an item, you can run a lot of different stuff on this. Ground Resistance Berry is really good. But yeah, they're both incredible. We mentioned Excadrill, so let's talk about it. Excadrill, very, very good. Very good. The one issue with this thing is it doesn't have quite as good of coverage as some of the other options. So because it doesn't have as good of coverage, I usually just see it as like a ground spammer. Earthquake, Dig, and Drill Run are all incredible moves. I've been running this set with a Sword Stance. This attack stat is massive, and the fact that this gets a setup move on top of that, crazy. This will one-shot so much. And you can really make use of, I mean, these are going to one-shot stuff that isn't super affected by ground, but there is a lot of flying types, so having only ground moves is annoying, but you can always pivot, of course. And if you don't feel like you need 2 gap closers of different utility, you can just run Iron Head. But yeah, this thing does work. I think the only thing is that it's very one-dimensional. Besides that, incredibly strong. I'll put it up here. Let's go with Tyranitar next. Both versions of Tyranitar are good. I think the Mega is significantly better. You just get so much bulk and so much attack out of this. This thing does work. This thing, that was my main, oh my god, 150, 120, I didn't even know quite how high it was. And you're up to 164 attack. This thing just is an absolute menace. I was running Stone Edge, Earthquake, Crunch, and Heavy Slam. Heavy Slam is incredible on this. It's a gap closer to get in, and it's coverage for fairies, coverage for Xerneas. that type of coverage is super, super good. I think Heavy Slam right now. Oh yeah, that was another thing I mentioned about Metagross. It gets Heavy Slam, whereas Excadrill does not. Excadrill not getting Heavy Slam is a huge, huge downside to it. But Metagross does get it. And that's what makes Mega Metagross so incredibly strong, because it has the Stab Heavy Slam as the potentially best gap closer in the game right now because of Xerneas. Xerneas has incredible defense with its 126 HP, but its Geomancy does not boost defense, it's only special defense. So because of that, you need to basically attack it on the defense side. I see a lot of people running Flash Cannon and stuff like that, and that is good, of course, but it's just going to help other people get the knockouts, right? It's not going to kill it. You're going to weaken it, which is good, especially like in the Xerneas mirror, running Xerneas into Xerneas. Of course, you want Flash Cannon there. But I also think that Thunderbolt is really invaluable. It's a more reliable move to hit. I prefer Dazzling Gleam. I think that Moonblast is booty. Moonblast gets stopped by any tree in the way. And this thing, I don't know what it is with this thing's movement speed. Geomancy, I haven't tested out yet, but I think Geomancy might boost its movement speed in addition to its cooldown reduction, because I see this thing just bolting across the battlefield. And so it can get in range for Dazzling Gleam very easily. And Moonblast is like, it's slow. Yeah, I think Dazzling Gleam is much better. And then if you're running this as a lead, you can run Reflect on it as the so you actually do have good defenses, which is really powerful. Or you could just run full damage, which is very, very valid. But yeah, besides Xerneas, like having Heavy Slam for Xerneas is incredibly good, and the fact that this gets that coverage, that it's also a gap closer. Yeah, it's not Stab, but you can then go into an Earthquake or a Stone Edge. Stone Edge for Stab. Stone Edge on this thing, exceedingly strong. This is a menace. I think it's still really good, even though its matchup into Xerneas is still bad because it does take super effective Fairy type damage. But otherwise, I think it's really good. I think that put it down under Ampharos here. As for a regular, it's not as good. It just doesn't hit as hard. Sure, you can help that with an Expert Belt or a Life Orb, but I think I'll just keep it at the bottom of A. I think it's respectable, but it's not as good. Next up, the Delphox. Yo, Mega Delphox. This thing, I was excited for this thing, and it did not disappoint. This is 159 special attack. Let's talk about both the strongest fire type. It's because fire in this meta is so good. Fire is so good. Fire resists Fairy, so it's a good matchup into Xerneas. And Xerneas doesn't get any coverage for fire types. What does it get? Yeah, just had to confirm. Xerneas gets nothing for fire types. So fires have great matchup into Fairy because of that resistance, and they also have great matchup into Steel, the counter for the Fairies. So people lead or have Xerneases out. Other people go into Steel types to counter the Xerneases, and then you go into a fire type and you win on both axes of that. You're playing rock, paper, scissors, but you are you're beating both. No matter what you with your choice of scissors, you're beating both paper and rock. So it's fire types are so strong. They're so strong. You have, of course, Chandelure, incredible. Very, very good Pokemon here. And the Delphox is not far behind as the next thing. I'm gonna keep looking. And right now I'm checking special attack because of Heat Wave and how powerful Heat Wave is. It's just huge AoE, big damage. Heat Wave is the most powerful fire attack in the game. Yeah, so there's Camerupt. I'm sure it's like usable. Chandelure. Houndoom actually has a crazy high special attack. That's crazy. Volcanion, this is not in here. Pyroar is booty, just like booty stats. Regular Delphox, Emboar, Mega Emboar, but that's more on the physical side. Yeah, so Mega Charizard, Delphox, and Chandelure are kind of like your premium fire type Heat Wave users, and so all of them are going to be an A for this reason. I think that these, I'm going to put Chandelure at the top just because it does the most damage, has the best bulk. But Delphox, very, very good. I'm going to put them above T-Tar. Delphox does have insane special defense. You can run max speed, max special attack on this, since you're not getting too much utility out of going into your defenses. You get Psychic as good stab. You get Thunderbolt. You do not get Thunderbolt. You get Heat Wave. You can run Overheat 2, Dazzling Gleam, Moonblast, Focus Blast, good coverage. It gets a setup move. Pretty much the same here with Chandelure too. It doesn't have as good of moves because Chandelure gets Energy Ball coverage for water types, but that move sucks. It gets Shadow Ball, which is booty, and that's like the only. So this thing is pretty much just trying to Heat Wave and overheat and yeah, just like set up before that. But yeah, still so strong for that reason. Actually, you know, now that I'm looking at it, maybe I'll put Delphox. I think it's really close, but maybe I'll put Delphox higher because the move Psychic is just it locks on the way that Thunderbolt kind of does. So it's just a much better move than Shadow Ball is. But team coverage matters. Ghost is going to hit more things. They're both really good. As for Charizard, also has the incredibly high special attack. It's got lower defenses though, which makes it significantly weaker in my mind. I would say most of the time you'd rather go for these. But the thing that Charizard gets that makes it super viable is Hurricane. The fact that it gets Hurricane Heat Wave, both stab, that's good. That's really, really good. And then it doesn't get Calm Mind, which is also a big drawback compared to these two that both get Calm Mind. But a lot of times you don't need that. You have such a high special attack already. And you can run also the Focus Blast for coverage. And you could even put like Solar Beam on it or something. Yeah, a very powerful option. I would say definitely weaker than these two, but still very, very good. Also, 4 times weakness to rock is not nothing. T-Tar, there's a lot of stone edges. Diancie, having that ranged, powerful rock move. You do need to watch out for that. While we're talking about 4 times weak fire flying types, we also need to mention Talonflame. Talonflame is surprising to me. Every time I see it, it does better than I think it will, because you look at this and these stats are abysmal, right? 81 attack. What is that? What are these defenses? They're fine. Not you could go special with it too, but that's like even lower. And then it has a huge speed, which isn't even that important in this game. The thing about Talonflame though, ignoring its stats, is its movement speed is so fast. This thing is like a jet through the air, just like flying around, can do whatever it wants, and can dodge it really easily. So this thing is surprising how like good it is every time I see it, even though on paper it looks like a joke to me. But I think it's solid. Like you can run, of course, Brave Bird, Flare Blades. Fire Flying is still a good type in general, as long as you're avoiding those stone edges. You could run it special with Heat Wave Hurricane. Yeah, I mean, it's something that can, wow, it gets U-turn as well. So you can Brave Bird and U-turn out, that's pretty good. You could even like put like Protect on it because it's not super bulky. Oh yeah, it gets Sword Stance. I was like, this bird doesn't get Sword Stance, right? It gets Sword Stance. So like, it has a really good set, right? It has a lot of good options. You can run like Quick Claw on it. I've seen a lot. Just give you those fucking cheeses. And yeah, I mean, this thing does work, surprisingly. It does work. It's mostly because it's so fast. It's trying to just like swoop in for the last hits after your opponents have weakened things, because with these stats it's not going to do the most damage, but and it's going to be hurting itself a lot. It's not trying to be in the middle of the fight, but Talonflame is legit. I'm going to put it here at like the top of B. Oh yeah, I didn't mention regular Delphox. Or regular Charizard, or a regular Chandelure. Let's rank those real quick. I think what I'm going to do is set them all here in viable. Chandelure being the best one. These do everything their megas do, just significantly weaker. They don't have the insane special attack that these have. So I don't think these are super viable, but they are like at least viable. You can run them. They all have like around 100, I think, special attack. Or regular Chandelure is higher. Regular Chandelure has 145. Okay, regular Chandelure I'm gonna put in B. I think that you could do something with that item. But the other two, Charizard only has 100, and what does Delphox have? Delphox has 114. It's okay. It's not very good. But it still gets Calm Mind, so it's definitely better than Charizard. Charizard is like, sure, it has the Flying Hurricane, but yeah, Delphox is going to be at the top here of C, and this is probably going to be at the bottom. Oh, I also didn't mention regular Excadrill. Regular Excadrill is not good. It's really not that useful. I think that he really needs that, like, you'll use regular Excadrill on Mega quite often, or at least I do, because saving those invulnerable frames are really valuable. But this thing is just like so low defenses. Sure, it has good HP, but this thing dies to any ground type attack. I think it really needs that Mega, and the Mega boosts its attack by so much. So, yeah, you can still like Swords Dance. You can still use that item in some way, but I think that the Mega is just gonna be better. Let's talk about the Greninjas next. That's not Greninja. That's Floette. There's Greninja. Regular Greninja, I've never seen this used. I haven't even thought about it. I think that, like, it's kind of a joke, right? Like, you don't get, when you're not a bulky Pokemon, you don't get anything out of your item, right? Like, Expert Belt for more damage, but then it's kind of the same as Mega, and then, oh my god, this thing is such low. Does it get Nasty Plot? It does, okay. So you can use this. It at least gets a setup move. So I'm definitely gonna put it in viable. Probably better than Charizard. Charizard doesn't get a setup move. But the Mega is good. The Mega has crazy high attacks and speed. Water Shuriken, the big thing about this is that Water Shuriken turns into a crazy move. Instead of throwing your little shurikens in like 1, 2, 3 or whatever, you throw the giant thing above your head, and it's 70 base power and is like a 3-second cooldown. So you almost max out the speed. You don't have to max it out to get that maximum cooldown reduction. I think it's like this 20 here and then the rest here. Yeah, I think it's 236. I think this is all you need. Definitely do the math and double check me. But then that gives you the maximum cooldown reduction, so you could just keep fucking Water Shurikening. It's like, yeah, so it gets down to what, 2-second cooldown? Yeah. This thing does its job. It does its job. Water type attacks are great in the format because of how good fire types is. You can run some interesting stuff like Flip Turn. It gets a really high attack stat too, so you don't even have to rely just on special. You could even do like a negative defense nature. Run Flip Turn, Gunk Shot for poison coverage, Ice Beam, of course, is a great option on him. He gets Nasty Plot for setup. Yeah, I think that he's really good. Yeah, with regular Greninja is probably still pretty solid actually because of Nasty Plot and 100 special attack, but you'd rather just take that out of the equation. Go like use this item to get the 30 boost. Right, it's 30. Yeah, it's 30 boost, which is better than what your, Expert Belt or Life Orb is going to do for you. Sure, I mean, Life Orb is actually really good on this because it's going to die to a breeze anyway. So, and this gets Nasty Plot. So you can reach the damage. It's definitely viable, but the Mega's like very good. I'll put the Mega like here, I think. Yeah, at the bottom of A, I think is valid. Let's do Lucarios next. I've been seeing a lot of Lucario. I haven't tested it out myself, but I think just this typing is really valuable. You get to hit Xerneas for super effective. You also kind of bait them because they're like, oh, it's fighting. My fairy type attacks will do good damage, but you're also steel, so it'll do neutral damage. And sometimes that's enough to kill this because this thing is frail. I mean, especially after Geomancy. But you can run this thing special or physical. You can do Brick Break. I've seen a lot. Brick Break I've seen a lot is a quick move that gets to break screens. And it's just like surprising how fast it is. It gets extreme speed, which is so good. And yeah, I mean, this thing, it gets Swords Dance, it gets Nasty Plot. You can run it however you need it. It's really flexible. It's not going to be as powerful as any other Mega, but because of how flexible it is, it's very good. And not any other Mega, but yeah, I think Mega Lucario I'm going to put in B tier, or in A tier actually, and regular I'm going to put in B. I think that regular is still fine. It has 100 in its attacking stats with Nasty Plot, Swords Dance, whatever you need. But it's, yeah, it doesn't reach the heights that this does, for sure. I also didn't mention Mega Ampharos. I'm going to put Mega Ampharos down here. I think that regular Ampharos, incredible. Mega Ampharos is just, in general, a waste of your Mega. You're trying to run Ampharos as a flying type checker, and a lot of the flying types are dragons. So making yourself weak to dragon doesn't seem like a great idea. Sure, you get some extra bulk, you get a substantial special attack increase, but it's not going to make up for the losing an item and losing your Mega. I think that Mega Ampharos is certainly still viable, but not very good. Let's talk about Glaceon. Glaceon is everybody's favorite breakout from this game. We love that Glaceon is good for once. It's crazy. But yeah, this thing is just everything you need it to be. It's just bulky enough, and it has Freeze Dry Ice Beam that with a really high special attack. It's the highest non-mega special attack in the game. So Glaceon, just off that, is extremely good. Vanillux is funny. Vanillux is technically viable, but it's just strictly outclassed by Glaceon. There's literally nothing this thing gets. It doesn't get Nasty Plot. It doesn't even get Calm Mind. So that's why I didn't put it on the list, because it's just strictly out. Like, it does nothing that I think it does nothing that Glaceon doesn't already do. So Glaceon, really good. Ice Beam, Blizzard, Freeze Dry, Calm Minds. You can run screens on this. Not light screen, but it does get reflect. So yeah, a lot of cool utility on this little guy. He's very good. I'll put him here. He's worse than these. I think he's better than these. I'll put him here. I'll talk about Vaporeon next, because the Eeveelutions. Let's talk about all of them. Okay, so the ones that I put on here are the Sylveon, Espeon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. Of course, the Glaceon. Where'd she go? There she is. I didn't put Umbreon on here. I have seen Umbreon, but I just don't know what this thing is doing. Like, once people, like, learn a little bit about this Pokemon, they know that they could just ignore this. Like, this thing does nothing. Sure, it can sit there Calm Mining, but it's such a low defense. It, of course, sets up screens, and it's a very reliable screen setter because it's so bulky. But, like, what else are you doing? Like, this isn't like the normal game. This doesn't get foul play. There's no foul play in this game. So, this thing just can't do anything. I think that every single one of your Pokemon needs to be able to pick up knockouts, because that's the format that this is. You need to get points in order to win. So I just really don't see what this is doing. I don't think this gets anything. I don't respect this. Yeah, I'll put this in F. Sorry, Umbreon. I think you're great in VGC though. I really like you. But yeah, but the rest that are on here, Espeon is usable, but not the best. Sylveon is viable. It's certainly fine. Jolteon is usable. It's better than Espeon for sure, but again, it's just like is mostly outclassed by Ampharos. And Vaporeon is actually good. Vaporeon gets some nice things. So it has good bulk. It has decently high special attack. It gets Calm Mind. It gets water moves. It gets Hydro Pump. It gets Ice Beam or Blizzard. It gets Surf. It gets Reflect. It's a pretty solid lead. I mean, this is a lot of coverage here, right? It can come out, set up a Reflector and Calm Minds. It can Surf. It can Ice Beam. Ice water coverage has always been solid, and yeah, it does its job. I think it's very good. It's very good. I'll put it like at the bottom of B. Sylveon, I've tested a bit. Sylveon is fine, but it's just like it doesn't do that much. Like the problem is Moonblast isn't the best attack. Dazzling Gleam is not what you really want it to be doing. You don't want it to just like run in. So I don't know. This thing is of course it can run a similar set. It Calm Mind, Reflect, Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam, and then a coverage option. It's certainly viable, but I don't know if I put it at the top of C for now. It pains me to say Sylveon is one of my favorite Pokemon. And then Espeon, basically the theme is that all of these are similar, but Vaporeon just has the best coverage because the others don't get Ice Beam. Espeon does get Psychic. Again, it's a good move, but it's not the best coverage that you want. It has the opposite defense spread, so really bad on the defense side, which is not what you want. It got one of its stats put in the wrong one. 110 in speed is a lot worse than buffing its. Yeah, Vaporeon just has a much better stat spread with the 130 here and the 110 here. So this thing is too frail. Sure, it can do the same thing, but not very good. I think any Pokemon that gets a setup move is at least usable. I think setup moves are so powerful. Next up, let's go with the Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir, very consistently good. Put it up here at like the bottom of A. I do think it's fallen off a bit because Xerneas exists. So there's a lot of competition for these fairy types. And Xerneas is just so bulky and so powerful. But Gardevoir still does its job as an exceptional special attack stat, more powerful than Xerneas, but of course Xerneas gets Geomancy. But yeah, that attack stat with Dazzling Gleam or Moonblast still very valuable. It gets Psychic, you can invest in speed, use it as like a ranged run around, get last hits Pokemon. It's of course good. For the regular, yeah, you could run it with Calm Mind. It doesn't get Nasty Plot, which would be like perfect on it. You can run it with Calm Mind to boost its special attack higher. I think that the 40 increase from the Mega is much more valuable, and overall its stats are just not. Again, like just like with Espeon, it loses its HP and defense, but unlike Espeon, it's a fairy type. So this thing is definitely better than Espeon. I think I'll put it in like top of usable. Let's talk about the Gallades. Gallade has been impressing me. Mega Gallade has a monstrous attack stat. It gets close combat. It gets Psycho Cut, Ice Punch, incredible coverage. You can break screens with it. Poison Jab, incredible coverage. This thing just kind of has like all the coverage it needs to be really strong, and it has a really high attack stat. I think this is very viable. I haven't seen it enough to know like where to put it, but I know it's viable. It might be higher, but I'm just gonna put it here for now. And then regular Gallade, I'm unsure. Regular Gallade does get bulk up and agility, so it could be a solid lead. Does it get screens? It does get reflect. Does it get it does get light screen. This thing is like pretty solid. It has like the same coverage I was talking about, so you can go Ice Punch, Poison Jab for Fairy and Dragon coverage. Just be like a solid lead that's threatening. I think this thing is viable. Oh my god, there's still so many more to do. Let's see, we went over some of the other electric screen setters, so let's go over these ones that some people have been running. These are all here. I mean, these are... Oh wait, maybe not Pikachu. Pikachu's actually... We'll get to Pikachu. Pikachu goes crazy. But these, it's like... Okay, Stunfisk, I respect it. I see the vision. It definitely deserves some respect. But like, come on, this thing is so much worse than Ampharos. Not only does it have an additional type, which is not what you want, because it's not getting coverage out of this. You're not using Earthquake on this 66 attack. You're not using Earth Power on this without a setup move. So what do you... This is only a drawback. This is only a bad thing. Sure, it's really small. It's hard to see. I understand the vision. It's funny. It's got actually really solid bulk, but can't pick up kills. Sure, it can do the normal stuff. It can charge and it can Thunderbolt, but I think that you're just better off with Ampharos because Ampharos hits so much harder. It doesn't even get screen? This thing's terrible. Okay, what are we doing with this? This doesn't even set screens. We're Earth Power. We don't get Nasty Plot. We don't get Calm Minds. What are we doing with this? This thing's, come on guys, this thing's terrible. This thing's terrible. Very, very bottom of usable. These are way better. These are way better. These get screens. And they have a higher special attack stat. Yeah, so then this is your option. If you want a faster Ampharos, like something that can click Thunderbolt more times, potentially. Not even necessarily, because this thing's defense is so low that I think you'll get more Thunderbolts off with Ampharos. But yeah, these guys are what to pick, or Jolteon. And Jolteon doesn't, it misses one of the screens, so I actually think that Raichu might be better. But no, Jolteon's special attack is so much higher, so Jolteon I think is better. But yeah, no. Okay, Pikachu is kind of sick. Pikachu's kind of sick. It doubles it, right? So Light Ball doubles it. This is technically a 105 base, 100, but it's even more than that because the investment is calculated first. So it's going to be a lot stronger. I don't know the exact math, but it's going to be a lot stronger than Jolteon is, that's for sure. So this thing's Thunderbolt, it's going to be stronger than Ampharos, regular Ampharos. So this thing's Thunderbolt is going to kill some stuff. Also, it's small. Pikachu is definitely one of the ones where you want to go extra small. Thunderbolt doesn't matter too much. AoE, because it locks on, so whatever. You're just trying to hit the target, right? And yeah, this thing does its job. It does its job. Like it's super good. Like I might even put Pikachu here. Like it is still worse than Ampharos. Don't get me wrong, but it does the same job and hits harder. So it has a function. It has a function that is like overall Ampharos is better because it's bulkier, right? But this hits harder and does the same stuff. So I respect it. But does Raichu get Nasty Plot? No. Alolan Raichu? Oh, it does. Okay, Alolan Raichu gets Nasty Plot. That actually changes things because it can run Nasty Plot instead of. But yeah, I don't think regular Raichu does. Oh, it does. Okay, the Raichus get Nasty Plot, so they're actually definitely better than. You just run those instead of Charge, and you're doing more damage than Jolteon. So these get to go up here. Pikachu doesn't need to Nasty Plot when it has Light Ball to boost its stats so high. So yeah. Okay. I need to speed this up. So let's talk. Oh, I missed a Molga as another screen setter. This one is actually viable. This thing is actually viable because sure, it adds the flying, so it's weak to rock and ice. But having that ground immunity on something so small and hard to hit is huge. So it does the same thing. It sets screens, and it's oh, it doesn't set reflect. Okay, it doesn't get reflect, but you can charge Thunderbolt as usual, and also Volt Switch. Volt Switch is not nothing. So I think this thing is usable. It's not. Nah, I'll put it below the Raichus. The Raichus do more damage. They do more damage. Okay. We can calm down. Molga is hard to hit though. It's hard to hit and it's immune to ground. It's not nothing. It's not nothing. It's usable for sure. The Floettes. Let's see. Mega Floette, solid. Regular Floette, good. Yeah. I don't. There's not too much to say about these. I mean, Light of Ruin, great attack, huge AoE, giant thing. I think it's probably better in this meta than Gardevoir, actually. It's smaller. Yeah, it's a sweet Pokemon. I think the big thing is that Moonblast and Dazzling Flame are both not things you want on this. Like, Gardevoir wants Light of Ruin. Gardevoir really wishes it had Light of Ruin. So, I think Floette is just better. I'm gonna look at regular Floette, because not that one. Yeah, regular Floette has a much higher special attack than regular Gardevoir does. Oh no, they're the same. Okay, Floette and Gardevoir have the same special attack, but Floette's stats are just larger and everything else. So it's definitely better than Gardevoir, but I don't think it's significantly better. So put regular down here above Gardevoir. and Mega up here above. Mega Gardevoir. Mega Slowbro. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. I'm gonna put it, I think Mega Slowbro is a really good cut for like very good to incredible. Speaking of which, I think I want to drop Mega Gardevoir down here. I think it's fallen from grace. I really have. No, we'll keep it up here. We'll keep it up here. But yeah, I think Slowbro is really good. Slowbro is like sweet. You surf, you have monstrous defense. It can survive. It's funny. I like it. Mega Lopunny, I've seen this a bit. Fighting coverage. Regular Lopunny stats are abysmal. We're not going to talk about her. But yeah, this thing's attack is huge. It gets Sword Stance. It gets close combat. It can do some stuff. It's a solid glass cannon. It can break screens. It can not break screens. No brick break, really? Okay. It gets U-turn. Okay, it can go close combat, U-turn out. It's solid. It's solid. I think that people kind of messing around. I think that Gallade is better, but it's viable. Mega Meganium, gonna put it down here in viable. There's not too much to say. It's a good typing. It just doesn't have a setup move. Like this, if this thing got Calm Mind, it'd be way higher. But like, I've used this. It has great coverage for the format, but it just misses the mark a little bit. It has really good stats, but not quite enough damage. I'll put it up here. It is 143. It just doesn't have a setup move. No, it needs to go below the things that have setup moves. I'm sorry. Oh, Skarmory. Okay, Mega Skarmory. This is the real deal. This is the real deal. This thing is so cool. Incredible typing, incredible stats. It gets Sword Stance. It gets agility. You can run Drill Run on it. You can run Iron Head. You can run Brave Bird. This thing just does what you need it to do. It's a super solid mega choice. I think in general, Metagross and Excadrill are better, but this thing is very good. I will put this up here, just below Glaceon. Mega Feraligatr, also very good. I'll put it at the bottom of A. I think it's very good. I think Feraligatr is the same. I think that they're both very comparable up here in A. They're just really good. This is a good charger for Aqua Jet Flip Turn. Sword Stance, Aqua Jet Flip Turn. Really good options. And the Mega does big damage. Does what it needs to. Good typing too. The weakness to Electric is the only issue. But yeah, again, because of how good fire types are, Water is the next best. It goes like, I guess Steel Fairy or Fairy Steel, Fire, Dragon, Water. Mega Frostlass, we talked about how important Nasty Plot and Ice coverage is. This thing is very usable. The only thing is that it takes your Mega. So I think in general Glaceon is going to be a better pick, but this thing is fast. It has it's going to be able to use Blizzards more often. It's also you get to use multiple plus move Blizzards, usually more than a Glaceon would be able to because it's Mega. So yeah, it's solid. Mega Emboar, I've seen this a little bit. It's got decent coverage, but you know, it's viable. It's put it down here. It's about the same as Meganium. Dragalge is actually good. The thing about Dragalge is that it is kind of the perfect typing for this format. It gets Sledge Bomb or Sledge Wave, whichever one you want to run. Probably Bomb, because you want to keep a little distance. And it gets Draco Meteor. So it hits the dragons for super, and it hits the fairies for super. Bow Stab. So, sure, you're weak to dragon, but this thing, like, and it doesn't have, like, the biggest special attack, but it does have insane monstrous special defense. So this thing gets there. I think this thing is, like, actually viable. Better than viable. I think it's incredible. I think it is incredible. Because it's just the perfect typing. It doesn't get a setup move, which is really unfortunate. If it did, then I would feel really comfortable putting it here. We're putting it like up with these guys. But for now, it needs to stay at the bottom of A because it doesn't get a setup move and it doesn't quite have the damage. But yeah. Oh, it doesn't get Heat Wave or Overheat. Oh, right, but it gets the water coverage in Hydro Pump, so that's huge. That's really meaningful. Yeah, this thing just does what it needs to. It fills very specific niches, and it's really good against the top threats in the format. Only major downside with it is a special attacker. So it's probably not likely to pick up a one-hit on Xerneas if it has Geomancy up. Because of that, because it's not like a direct counter to it, I think I'll put it at the very top of B, actually. It does take your Mega. Speaking of Megas, let's go over all the other Megas. I should have just done that first. Yo, what's up? Watts from the future here. We're just going to go over all Megas so I can put this together. I went over Megas. I'm going to cut this so that we have all Megas together for the little tracks in the bottom. Okay, first up, all the Megas. We already went through a lot, but I'm gonna splice this so we can keep it uniform. Starting with Mega Charizard X. We already talked about Y. X is not nearly as good. I'm sorry. It's a Dragon type. That's not good. Sure, it gets Outrage, which is useful. It's definitely better than regular Charizard. So it's definitely viable. Probably better than these. Put it underneath Ampharos. It's just not what you want right now. You don't want to give up that Fairy resistance, usually. You're making yourself weak to Fairy and Dragon. That's a lot. That's a lot. And it's physical. A lot of the physical Fire type moves are not as good as Heat Wave. Heat Wave is just so good. Manectric, it's not worth your Mega. It feels really bad to say this because I love Manectric, but it is just not worth your Mega. It's too frail. It doesn't really do anything that regular Ampharos doesn't. Sure, it's very strong. It's very powerful. It's just not worth your Mega. Same is true for Beedrill. Beedrill is so frail. It's so incredibly frail. What is this defense? Sure, it can set up a Swords Dance and it has Poison Stab, Poison Jab. So it's a reliable check to Xerneas, but that's all it is. It's a 1-for-1. You trade your Mega for their Legendary and then you both go down to something else. It's not worth running. Probably better than Manectric though. Mega Clefable. I was really hype about Mega Clefable, but it has been disappointing. It's better than Meganium, but yeah, worse than Emboar. It's just viable. It's not the best Mega. Sure, it like on paper it looks good. It gets Calm Mind, it gets Dazzling Gleam, but the Flying type really is bad. You don't want to suddenly make yourself weak to Thunderbolt. Yeah, I don't think it's usually worth it. Mega Blastoise. What do you do? What do you do, Blastoise? Shell Smash is not in this game. I have confirmed that Shell Smash is not in this game. So, you can't do that. Aqua Jet, Flip Turn, but it's a special attacker. Hydro Pump. You can Focus Blast, that's pretty solid, but you don't get Mega Launcher, so I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing with this. It gets no setup move. It's worse than anything that just Calm Minds, and yeah, I guess it's usable. I'm putting it down here with these. It's worse than both of these because it doesn't have a setup move. This can charge and Thunderbolt. This can Swords Dance and Poison Jab. Sure, it has bulk though. It has bulk. It can actually survive hits. Okay, I'll put it above them because of its bulk. It's all close. Mega Venusaur, so sad. Mega Venusaur in 1v1 I think is so freaking strong. It's crazy powerful because you can run Leech Seed, Giga Drain, and Synthesis, and you just are unkillable. But in this format, you need to be getting knockouts, and this thing just doesn't have the stats for that. Sure, it's Poison type, so it does something. It can Sludge Bomb. But yeah, no setup move makes it also not very good. Mega Sableye, ooh, how sad it is to be Mega Sableye. An incredible Pokemon in singles. It has good defenses. It can break, I guess. It can bulk up, Calm Mind. It can set up screens. All this is a screen setter, and there are better screen setters. This thing does nothing. I unfortunately have to put Mega Sableye. Because it can set up screens, it's still usable, but this is like the bottom. Mega Pidgeot, better than some of these other ones, for sure. Has a high special attack, so it can at least fire off some hurricanes. It's got a pretty high movement speed, so it does some stuff. But no setup move, I think is the big downside of Pidgeot. Yep, no setup move. Mega Gengar, I've seen a little bit of Gengar, put them together. The thing about Gengar is it is poison type, and it has a monstrous special attack. So a lot of times you can get through the Xerneas special defense boost if they're weakened a little bit. Just because of that, I think it's viable, but I don't think it's a well-used worth of your Mega just to counter Xerneas. You can find other ways of doing that. It also gets Thunderbolt though, and of course Nasty Plot, so it can do monstrous damage. For that same reason, Gengar is just as viable, I would say. It has 130 with the Nasty Plot. Doesn't give up your Mega, so you can still run like Life Orb. That's a lot of damage. It's solid. It's solid. It's not bad. I think also just having something that hits for both electric and poison damage is really useful because, my God, bro, why? Why? Because Sludge Bomb, or the poison hits Xerneas, and the electric hits Yveltal. And it's not just anything that's hitting Yveltal for super, it's electric, which is amazing, as we've discussed. So the Gengars are viable. I'm gonna put them up here, probably above a Lopunny, because it has better coverage. It's a better glass cannon in general, I would say. I do still think Gallade is very good, but I'll put above Gallade too. I think these are very viable. Still not that worth your Mega. I think in general you'd rather have something bulky like Dragalge, but Dragalge does not get the setup move that these get. It's a reliable 1-for-1. Mega Mawile I've been seeing a little bit of. It has potentially the best typing in the entire game. The combo of Steel Fairy, very good. You beat other fairy types and you are immune to Dragon. This is an incredible type. Sure, there's a ton of fire and ground running around, so because of that, it's not, you know, unkillable. Also has a very low attack stat because of huge power. So you have to set up a Sword Stance if you want this to kill anything. I think it's just not reliable enough. I don't think it's doing enough. Sure, it's kind of bulky with a good typing, but you get caught in an Earthquake and you're dead. I don't think this is that very good, but it is certainly viable. Yeah, because it has a setup move, I guess it's better than like Pidgeot. I'll put it at the very bottom, but viable. Mega Pinsir. This thing has an extremely good attack stat. It gets Mega Horn? No, it does not. And it gets Bulk Up. It gets Close Combat. It gets Fly? Question mark. Or does it get Bounce? It gets Aerial Ace. That's all it gets. Doesn't get Bounce. Oh. This thing doesn't get Fly or Bounce. Its only flying stab move is Aerial Ace. You're kidding me. This is a tragedy. This is a tragedy. No Mega Horn. It can get Pin Missile. This thing is booty. This thing is absolute booty. It is definitely better than Beedrill, though. Sorry, Beedrill. Actually, no, I think Beedrill's better. Beedrill at least can kill stuff. Sure, these stats are better, but it's dead to a Cool Breeze anyway. Yeah, I'm sorry. It needs to go down here. Mega Starmie. What you got? You got okay defenses, not great for a Mega. It's gonna be a special attacker. You're not doing nothing with this base 100. No pure power. Attack stat. You can do Blizzard, Hydro Pump. You can set up screens, Thunderbolts. You get no setup move. I think people use this for the meme. I don't think this thing does anything. Yeah, hell no. Sorry, Starmie. Aggron is actually good. There's some really cool uses for Mega Aggron. It loses the rock type, which is good. Its defense is, oh my, astronomical. So it can just do its thing. It gets bulk up, I think. No, it doesn't. Automatize. Is that in the game? No, it's not. You know, it can Earthquake. It can Heavy Slam. It doesn't even need Iron Hand because it gets Iron Head because it gets Heavy Slam, which is very good. Just the fact that it's so bulky and it gets Heavy Slam makes it usable. But yeah, it doesn't really get as Rock Polish in the game. No Rock Polish, so you can't Agility it. You can run Close Combat, I guess. No, you don't even get that. Oh, but Brick Break is good utility. Yeah. Okay, so you know it does some stuff. It's not as good as I thought. I thought it got a setup move, so I thought it was actually a beast, but it's not. And with its special defense being so lacking, there's good checks for it. I think it's at the bottom of viable. It's worse than Mallow, probably. Oh, poor Mega Metacham. Poor Mega Metacham. So this thing obviously lose pure power, so its base attack stat is 100. You poor thing. You don't get Swords Dance. You don't get Nasty Plot. You get Bulk Up, I guess. You don't do anything. Bulk Up, Close Combat, Reflect and Light Screen? Bruh. I'm sorry, Metacham. You do get a setup move, but you are a first F tier. Disrespect this. There's no reason to use this over another Mega. That's crazy. Poor Metacham. Mega Houndoom. Okay, surprisingly, Mega Houndoom, not terrible. It gets Nasty Plot. It's a Fire Dark type. It gets Heat Wave. You can Dark Pulse. Okay. This thing is surprising. Nasty Plot, Heat Wave. So it's on par with these guys. Like on paper, it serves the function that they do. Not quite as high special attack, but it gets the Nasty Plot. This gets Calm Mind though, and so does Chandelure. So they're reaching similar levels. And they have the bulk. Houndoom does not have that level of bulk. So it's definitely significantly weaker than Delphos and Chandelure because of that. But the fact that it gets Nasty Plot means it's potentially doing more damage. I would need to do the math on that. Calm Mind and 19 higher special attack. I think that's more. But hey, this thing's viable. This thing's viable. I think it's even potentially better than Gengar. I mean, it's not gonna fill a niche that these don't already, unless your Nasty Plot is that important to do slightly more damage. I don't think. It depends on the math. It really, I need to do the math. I'll put it below these for now. Sharpedo. You do get Agility, kind of cool. You get Aqua Jet. You get Flip Turn. Could be a real liable revenge killer. I don't know if that's the right term here. He's very fast. His movement speed is very high, especially with that agility to increase it. And close combat too. He's reasonable. He doesn't get Swords Dance. He's not boosting. But the combination of Aqua Jet Flip Turn is just a really reliable thing on a stab Pokemon with such a high attack. So I think he's actually viable. Put him down here. I think he's better than these two, actually. Camerupt. Camerupt also does a similar thing to the other fire types. The big issue is he's 4 times weak to water. He's not just maybe dying to a Hydro Pump, he's always dying to a Hydro Pump. But, of course, it does the same stuff. And it also gets Stab Earth Power. So because it gets Stab Earth Power, it does have an interesting use case that the other ones don't. It doesn't get Nasty Plot or Calm Mind, so it can't set up. It's going to be doing less damage. But Stab Earth Power does make it not nothing. It has a function. We're gonna put it down here. Emboar should not be this low. We'll move this stuff around later, but Emboar needs to be above these for sure. Same with Clefable. But yeah, Camerupt about the same place as Houndoom. Pyroar, do you do a similar thing? I think you do a similar thing. Heat Wave, 129. That is not Mega level stats. Oh, it's not even ground type, so it doesn't get stab on that. Its movement speed is probably fine. Overheat, no setup move. Yeah, I think this thing is so close to almost outclassed that I want to put it in F, but it has some use, I guess. It has some use as being the fastest one. No, it's not even the fastest one, because Delphox. It is not the fastest one. Delphox is just strictly better than this. Okay, yeah, we're putting it now. It's strictly outclassed. Better than freaking Metacham, that's for sure. Altaria, sweet typing. Very, very, very good typing. Stats are serviceable. Does not get Calm Mind. Does not get Nasty Plots. Does not get Bulk Up. I don't know what we're doing with this. We're Draco Meteoring, we Dazzling Gleam Moonblasting, but we have no setup and a much, much, much lower attacking stats than most Megas. I think that this is terrible. I think it's terrible. And it's really sad because it is such a good typing. Because of its very unique typing, I'm gonna still put it in usable. Maybe somebody can figure something out. but it's gotta be close to the bottom. I don't think it's good. Mega Banette. This thing's attack is off the charts, and it gets Sword Stance. So nothing. That is enough for it to not be nothing. It gets Gunk Shot. It gets Shadow Sneak. It gets Shadow Claw. This just does enough. I think it's solid. I think it's very solid. I think this thing is solid. How many times am I gonna say that? Sure, it dies to a slight breeze, but as far as glass cannons go, it does some stuff. It's definitely worse than Gengar is, because Gengar just has the better typing with the poison type. But it's a physical version. It gets Gunk Shot, it's Sword Stance. Sure, it's not stab, but it being a physical version, as I said, is important for Xerneas. So, like, don't sleep on this. It does something. Obama Snow. Okay, why is it spread like this? This is so sad. But it has enough power, has enough bulk. It's nice that it can be, it doesn't get Icicle Crash. It does, of course, get Ice Beam and or Blizzard. Energy Ball is terrible, but you can use it, I suppose. Giga Drain is not the best, but you can use it. Does it get, I'm sure it does not get Nasty Plot or Calm Mind. It just gets Ice type coverage. I think you can find what this is doing elsewhere. I think that this typing could make it potentially usable. And just for its unique typing, I will put the Obama Snows down here and technically usable, but I don't respect them. I do not. There's a regular Obama Snow, same place. Mega Audino! You at least get a Calm Mind. You have a 80, but your defense is incredible. Incredible defenses. But the problem is that you're a Mega. So just like with Sableye, you're not a good lead, because you have to set up the screens and then Mega, and your base form just doesn't do anything. Look at the 60. What is it doing? Okay, wait. It's a normal type. As a screen setter, it does something, and then it can Calm Mind, Dazzling Gleam, because it becomes Fairy when it Mega. That's it. It does one thing. It does one thing. But that's enough. On my tier list, that's enough to keep you out of F. Definitely better than Sableye. That's for sure. Heracross. Okay, Heracross is a surprise. Heracross is a surprise. It gets Sword Stance and or Bulk Up. It gets the Mega Horn, and it gets Close Combat. This thing does what it needs to do. It has all the right things for a niche, powerful Pokemon. Same with regular Heracross. It has enough attack, 125. Same thing, Sword Stance, Mega Horn, CC. You can run it with a White Herb, which is not bad, to take off the close combat downside. Your bulk is sometimes serviceable, but you can also just run it as a glass cannon, run like a Life Orb, and it also gets Detect. This thing is viable for sure. Only problem with Heracross, it is not the best typing right now. It's very similar to Gallade in what it does, but it's not as good as Gengar here, actually like countering the meta. So, but it's in this tier. Mega Steelix. Mega Steelix is a sad story. I think that its ground type is nice. It gets Earthquake. It gets Heavy Slam with 230. Wait a second, this thing might just be better than Aggron. They both have similar stats. The problem is Aggron is much more powerful, but it does not get Earthquake, but it also gains some more weaknesses with this, so I don't know if that's even worth it. It also does not get a setup move. So I think it's similar to Aggron, but just worse because it has a lower attack stat and no setup. I'm gonna put it down here. Like, I think it is a significant difference from Aggron. Yeah, it has the ground, so it has something going for it. I'll put it down here. It's fine. All right, back to a usable one. We got Mega Scolipede. Monstrous defense and a very serviceable attack. Gets Swords Dance. Let's go. Mega Horn, a Poison Jab, or does it get Gunk Shot? Yes, it does. It gets everything it needs to be a reliable anti-meta threat for the fairy types. Unfortunately, I don't think it has a way to hit Yveltal, but that's okay. That's not its job on your team. It has... Oh, it does. Does it have Stone Edge? No, it does get Rock Slide. I don't think Rock Slide is reliable. It's serviceable, but that move misses for me all the time. Yeah, anyway, this thing does its job. It's good. It's good. Finally, something that goes into the very good. I think if anything, okay, we're gonna move Dragalge down a little bit because it gets no setup move. And then we're gonna move Scolipede over above it. The thing is, this is a setup poison type that's physical, right? For the Xerneas. That's what we want. So because it's like anti-meta and it's not, it is just strong. I'm going to put it up here. I think the Scolipede is really good. It could even be better than for Alligator just because it's like its position in the meta game is just kind of everything it needs to be, right? I think it's viable for sure. Not viable. I think it's incredible. Okay, the Scizors. Now, Scizor has an incredible typing, only weak to fire. That is very useful. What it doesn't have is any move it can use. Obviously, they have Swords Dance, right? But because of Technician, their only stab options are doo-doo. They're doo-doo. Okay, wait, it gets Iron Head. Wait, we're fine. No Heavy Slam, unfortunately. It's not that heavy anyway, but Iron Head. Iron Head Swords Dance, hey, that's enough. That's enough. It does what it needs to. It just doesn't get Mega Horn. Does it get Stone Edge? No, it does not. It does not get Rock Slide either. Any coverage? Thunder Punch? No. Ice Punch? No. But yeah, this and then whatever coverage option you want to go for. I think it's enough. I think it gets there. It has good bulk. It has a great typing. Really exceptional attack. I think both of them get there. This also has a great attack. They're comparable. They're about the same. Again, I have to put them above the Gengars, and I don't want to put them in Incredible because there are so many fire types running around. So that is a pretty powerful liability. Same with like for Gyarados, but regular Scizor can run the Fire Resist Berry. Sounds really good actually. I could see regular Scizor getting up here. I just don't see it very much. I haven't really seen these, so I'll keep them here for now. But I think they have a lot of potential. Electros. Oh, how my poor baby who doesn't have Levitate. Ion Battery. Let's see. Of course, it's an electric type, so charge Thunderbolt or Thunderfang. Slightly higher attack, but Thunderbolt is a better move. Besides that, it doesn't really get much. It gets Volt Switch / U-turn. That's pretty cool. So you could Thunderfang and then U-turn out, or yeah. But it only it does get Bulk Up. Okay, it gets something. So Bulk Up, Thunderfang. Or Thunder Punch rather, and U-turn. It's not nothing. It's serviceable. It has the bulk because it has bulk up / charge to boost its defenses. It doesn't really have the bulk. This is a bad base, but it has enough going for it that it's not terrible. It gets to go here. It's better than Stop Fest. That's where you get to go. Scrafty, the Mega Scrafty. It's just super unfortunate typing. I really wanted this to be like a psychic type. I think that would have been so cool with his hands are in his hoodies, so he's not really fighting, he's just like a psychic now. It's so sick. But this typing is just so unfortunate. It's 4 times weak to fairy. It is not a spot you want to be in a format where Xerneas is the best thing since sliced bread. It gets some good options. It can break screens, it can close combat, it has bulk up, crunch for coverage. On paper, this thing looks good. Like, it looks good, but the typing really holds it back. And its HP is low, but it does have good defenses, and it has a solid attack stat with bulk up, so it's definitely viable. Worse than the steel types, because the steel types are better into the meta. It's usable. I'm sorry, it's usable. I have to put it down here because the typing is just so bad. In a format where Xerneas is the best thing, I'm sorry, Scrafty. I'm sorry. Mega Barbarical, 140 attack, Swords Dance, Rock type. is so good. This thing does what it needs to. It does what it needs to. Like close combat or brick break. Also gets bulk up, so you can run a tankier set if you want to. And it gets the poison jab. Sword Dance, Stone Edge, poison jab with just enough bulk. This thing into the field is like solid. It's solid. It's worse than Lucario. Lucario is a better answer, I think. Fighting Steel. But Rock is good. Rock is a good typing. Right now, offensively. There's a lot of flying types, and he does what he needs to. Next up, we have the Hawlucha. Now, the thing about Hawlucha that's really, really, really cool is it gets Flying Press, which functions kind of the same way that Fly does, and it gets Fly. It of course gets Bulk Up / Sword Stance, so you can run what you want there. It is a solid attack stat. It kind of does what it needs to, and it gets a lot of iframes with Flying Press / Fly, and that's pretty solid coverage. The only thing is it just doesn't do super well into the meta. It's weak to Fairy. You can U-turn out after going in. You can also run Poison Jab for coverage. It's sweet. It's sweet. It just like isn't the best into the meta, so I think it gets to go definitely inviable, but not up here. I think like around where Heracross's level is. Emboar has to be above here, I think, because its typing is just so much better. Emboar gets to go here. Regular Hawlucha, no. Victory Bell. I've seen a few Victory Bells. I don't get it. I'm gonna be honest. This thing is abysmal. What does this thing do? Sure, it's a poison type with great offensive stat. You can run it physical as a better counter to Xerneas. You can run it special if you want just more damage. But this thing... Oh, it gets Sword Stance? Oh, I didn't know that. Wait, that changes everything. Wait, I just assumed this thing didn't get Sword Stance. Okay, that actually changes everything. This thing's solid. Yeah, I think I've been seeing it as a special attacker, and so I thought it was Dog, because people were playing it wrong. No, as a physical attacker with Sword Stance, this is solid. It's poison type, so it's good into the meta. Grass is not the best, though. All the fire types running around. These are better. I still think that these are a better counter. But yeah, just because of that, it gets to go up here. But that's probably still better, even though it doesn't have stab. It just has such a higher attack. So its Sword Stance, Poison Jab is probably better. But yeah, because of its typing, it gets to be above these, I think. Mega Arrow. What do you get? No Sword Stance. No Bulk Up. It's trash. But it is Rock Flying, which is a very useful type. Stone Edge. Fly. Very good, very good. What is it? Detect. You can run Detect and we can run Ice Fang. Yeah, all it has is coverage, which is enough for it to not be nothing. But it just doesn't have the stats. It's got low defenses. It's got a monstrous speed, though. So if this was a singles meta or normal Pokemon. But yeah, just not quite high enough in the attack department without a Sword Stance. And sure, the typing is good, but it could be better for the meta. Flying doesn't hit like all too much right now. Mega Arrow, you go here, where the Aggron and Mawile are, because you also you have a good move pool, but no setup attack, and you don't even have the steel typing. Mega Alakazam, monstrous special attack with a Calm Mind or a Nasty Plot. No Heat Wave, no Hurricane, Psychic, Future Sight, Dazzling Gleam, Focus Blast. Yeah, I don't know. I had everything going for it, and then it didn't get the coverage it needed to get Thunderbolt. Not even Thunderbolt. Things doo-doo. Sorry, Alakazam. You were so close. You were very, very close. You're definitely better than this. Better than these. But you don't have coverage, so Abomasnow is better because it has Ice. Phalanx. Phalanx. Let's look at both of you. Now, just because these have no retreat, they're good. Just for that reason. No retreat close combat hits like an absolute truck. It gets the defenses from the no retreat. It can also do bulk up. It can also do Sword Stance. It can even do agility. You just want it to run faster. You can go in with the close combat, and then you can do we have a get out move like U-turn or Volt Switch? And then yeah, we get Poison Jab for coverage. So it just does what it needs to do. It's fine. It's perfectly reasonable. Gets to go up here around where Gallade is, because it does kind of a similar thing. Similar thing as Hawlucha too. But it has a really interesting niche because it has no retreat. So you can build it with that in mind. But yeah, worse than the stuff that like more directly counters the meta. I guess I'll put it up here. No, because yeah, this gets poisoned up too. I keep scrolling down. Malamara. What is this? Is this a mega Pokemon? 2020 special defense? We get Calm Mind. We obviously get Nasty Plots. This thing is the most nasty plotter of all time. But our base special attack is 98. We couldn't run physical because the typing is bad. The typing is really bad. The typing is so bad. Thunderbolt. This thing gets nothing. It gets nothing. Psychic, Thunderbolt, Dark Pulse. Yeah, that would be the set, and that would be bad. Sorry, Malamar. You're better than Metachamp. The rest of these also stay here. Gallade, Doodoo, Kangaskhan, probably better than this. Absol is probably the best in here. How does this thing not get Nasty Plot? What the heck? It doesn't get Calm Mind. Okay. It does get Source Dance. Okay. So this thing can probably do something. 150 attack? Okay, maybe this can do something. Close combat, knockoff. Ice Beam is interesting if you go special. Nah, it just doesn't. It doesn't get what it needs to for the meta. I guess I'll reluctantly put it here. I think it's bad though. Now we have to talk about Glalie. Because what the heck is this? What is this? Why did it get attack and defense? It gets no setup move. It does get Icicle Crash / Ice Beam, whatever version you want to run. Freeze Dry. See, the problem with Glalie is it's mono ice. Why are you ever running this over Glaceon? It's just strictly outclassed by Glaceon. It gets nothing that it doesn't. And it doesn't even get a setup move, right? Yeah, but Glaceon does. This thing's terrible. Very bad. Kangaskhan, also no setup move. It has wrong Kangaskhan. 125 attack, no setup move. Besides Curse, which is terrible in this game because it lowers your movement speed. Outrage, Stone Edge, no Stone Edge. Oh, this thing does nothing. This thing literally does nothing. It goes here. All right, that is it for the megas. Moving on to the other stuff. All right, now we can talk a little bit more freely. I don't have to go look at all the stats. There's just a lot of megas I just haven't really seen. Alakazam, this goes to the same place as regular. It still has its setup move, but not much else. Frostlass, this goes down here. It's probably around where Gengar is. It's fine. It's, yeah, worse than Poison, I would say. It's kind of the same. It's the same. I'm gonna put, yeah, Mega Frostlass does so much. This thing is just really strong for its Blizzard. Blizzard big AoE, very valuable. Sludge Wave, not as good because it comes out from the body on a glass cannon. That's not what you want. Sharpedo goes with Sharpedo. They're about the same. Actually, no, they're not because it doesn't get a setup move. But it still has a comparable attack. So put it around the same, but not quite as good as Mega. Scrafty, regular Scrafty is terrible. I'm sorry. It's really bad. It does the same thing, but it's not as bulky. It's technically usable. Let's see any of the other megas. A regular Drampa just doesn't have the attacking stat. It doesn't have the... It does... Okay, wait. It actually does kind of have the attacking stat. That is one... I didn't realize it was that high. 135. And it still has Calm Mind Draco. So this is fine. It's probably similar to the Mega, but just not as good. So I'll put it at the bottom of the tier that the Drampa's in. Need a plan for it. Maybe I'll drop it down here. I don't think it's as good into the meta. I'll probably put Drampa like down here too. These are fire types. They're better. But yeah, Draco Meteor, powerful. All these Slowbros are very, very similar. But the poison types are significantly better. I will put, they're weak to ground, which is a big liability in this format, but having those huge poison type attacks, I think that Slow King, this one, has the best stats and is significantly better than the others. Water is good too, so these are still viable, and yeah, I think this thing is probably better than Gengar, honestly. It's bulkier, still has a really high special attack stat. Like the top of viable. solid. Regular Barbaracle, this typing is so bad. It dies to anything. It doesn't have a good attack stat. No, maybe you could build something with it, but I don't believe in it. Hawlucha, a lot worse than the Mega. We're going to put it here. Houndoom, technically viable, not technically viable, technically usable. Pangoro, technically usable. Electros, technically usable. It's a screen setter charge. Thunderbolt Pokemon. Clefable, the same as the Mega. If anything, I think this is a little bit better actually. Where's the Mega? There it is. Goodra, actually solid. Very solid choice. Put it here. Florges, viable, not great. Champ, viable, not great. Scyther, usable. The problem with Scyther, it does get Sword Stance, and you get to run a Violet, so it's really tanky. But it's weak to fire. It's weak to. There's a lot of flying, hate, ice. It's 4 times weak to ice. Sword Stance, and what else does it get? It doesn't get. Does it get Brick Break? It does get Brick Break. It does get Close Combat. But it doesn't get a good flying stab. It doesn't get Fly, unfortunately. Yeah, I think because it doesn't get Fly, it gets X-Scissor. I think that's its biggest downfall, and I think that's why I'm gonna place it so low. It's sweet in VGC though. Yeah, I think I have to put it like all the way down here. Avalugg, this is a physical version of Glaceon, which can be useful on some teams. It has just a high enough attack stat, but it doesn't get Sword Stance, and it doesn't get Bulk Up. So it's usable, but not good, because Glaceon has Calm Mind and Freeze Dry. Freeze Dry is huge. A huge defense could work on something, but not very good. Probably better than Scyther. Regular Phalanx, similar to Mega, but of course a little bit worse. Same with Hawlucha, I'm gonna put it in the same boat, just usable. Also, this Float is way too low. This needs to be. This is probably the top of usable, like regular Eternal Float. It's probably a good marker for it. I'm saving Doublade for last. Meowstic is terrible, but it's a screen setter, so it at least does something. Calm Mind Psychic, it does something. It's probably better than, I mean, this has a setup move, so this is fine. Aurorus. Aurorus is interesting. It's really bad type defensively, but offensively it's a great type. But the problem is it just doesn't get enough. It gets Calm Mind, and you can run Ice Beam, Freeze Dry, Power Gem. No, what? Is Ancient Power in this game? I don't think so. No. I'm not sure about your rock stab option. Meteor Beam is not in this game. I just don't think it. I don't think it gets a rock stab, so it just doesn't do what it needs to. But better than these two. Crocodile, actually a solid choice. I'll put it in good. You need a plan for this. You need to at least be ready for what Crocodile can do. It's just it has a nice typing that allows it to fill a niche on a lot of different teams. Yeah. Chestnut, it gets Sword Stance Close Combat. That's enough to make it usable. But yeah, about the same as these other fighting types. Same with Emboar. Emboar does not get Sword Stance, but it does get Bulk Up, so similar. The grass typing is interesting too, but fire is more important. Sword Stance is better, but Bulk Up. Hippowdon, actually good. It loses some viability from Season 1. I would have put it in up here, like where Crocodile is. But it definitely loses out a lot of its utility. I think that because it's just mono ground and doesn't have the same level of coverage as Crocodile, I gotta put it down here, like below Goodra and Gengar. But it's usable for sure. And Doublade, my goat! I love this Pokemon. If anything, I think it got better in the new format because of the prevalence of Xerneas. It's a really good typing. And it is very viable. Put it down under Hippowdon. Very good Pokemon. I could see it even going here. With the Violet, this thing is just so tanky. But I think that they're a better... It only gets one screen. It only gets Reflect. If it got both screens, I'd put it higher. They're better Chargers. But yeah, Shadow Sneak, Iron Head, Swords Dance Reflect. I mean, the fact that it gets Swords Dance Iron Head is just enough in this format. You can like invest into attack with it and hit Xerneas. It has like 115 base attack, so it's enough, but not as good as like Scizor at doing that. Scizor has a more powerful Swords Dance Iron Head, but this thing has nice utility that other things don't. So gets to go here. And that's it. I think that I'm pretty satisfied with this list. If you don't see anything on here, please comment your opinion and let me know how I messed up and where I should have put it. I'm pretty satisfied with this list as of beginning of Season 2, as of just a few days of playing the format and testing things out. If you don't see anything on here, then consider it F, in my opinion. But I'm sure I missed something. I went through all the Pokedex and saved a picture of everything. But yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this. You can move Slowbro up here. It's just like, I think it's mostly outclassed by Slowking. Like, otherwise, it technically, like, on power level would be up here, but because it's, like, strictly outclassed by something, I'm putting it lower. Oh yeah, the issue is it's special, and it doesn't have quite the level of special attack that Gengar has, so I do think that Gengar is actually... Mega Gengar is probably better, regular Gengar is worse. Yeah, I'm gonna compare it to my other one from earlier. Probably put these steel types above these dragons, probably a bit better. Maybe Diancie I'd move. This is really close. Ampharos could go up here. It would just be like fine-tuning at this point. Gyarados could move up, but there's just so much electric. Should probably be more things in B. I think I'd probably move these down. I think Scolipede can stay here. Oh, Mega Floette is better than Gardevoir, but I'm done. For now, I'm done. I'd probably change some stuff if I thought about it more deeply, but for now, this is my list. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you skipped to the end, because this is going to be like an hour-long video, then welcome. Hey, please subscribe if you like the content, and you missed all the context on these choices, so go yell at me in the comments without knowing what I said about them. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please check out Radiant Rectangles, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.